Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Just Enough Heshy show. Today's show is going to be pretty interesting. My co-host, 15 minutes late, Soya and Bumi, but I got my friend here tonight, Shlomi, who not only is a friend, he is somebody who helped me out in our offices, a smart man, and me and him have had many philosophical discussions. Say hello, Shlomi.
Hello.
He doesn't want to wear his headset. He doesn't want to take off his hat, and he says that I'm too close to him. Did you bring your tape measure to measure?
I did, but I left it in the car. Sorry.
Well, you can't just shake your head. This is the radio. You got to actually talk into the mic. He left his tape measure. He wants me to be 6 feet away from him. Coronavirus. But he's going to be, I've always wanted a philosophical, rabbinical view on why it's not a Jewish show we have here, Shlomi, but we do talk about God from time to time. And you're here tonight to tell us why God and the Rebbe has punished the entire world. Is that correct?
Well, it's not as simple as that.
I got that. We'll get to the show. Anyways, we're going to talk today. He's going to give us his secrets on life. But of course, as you know, Shlomi, I have a joke in the quote of the day. Usually, I beg you to laugh at my jokes. I usually have two other co-hosts that actually laugh. So you're the only one tonight. You better laugh. Otherwise, I'm in big trouble. Is that okay? You can't keep shaking your head, Shlomi.
Okay.
Stop shaking the head. You keep shaking the head. I don't know. These guys from Crown Heights, they always say yes. Anyways, we're going to talk, of course, about the coronavirus, Shlomi. We're going to talk about a lot of politics. I know that you are very interested, as well as I'm going to talk about some personal things that have bothered me. I have a lot of things that bother me, Shlomi. You know that. You come to my office a lot. You hear me complain and fight with my partner. You know that, right?
Yeah.
He keeps shaking his head, everybody. I have no idea why. Anyways, as you know, Shlomi, we have a guy, our advertisers, Chamula Jewelers. They're located at 944 Kings Highway. Their phone number is 718-336-1980, 718-336-1980. Chamula Jewelers, they're a family-owned business for over 40 years, specializing in diamond engagement rings, eternity bands, and diamond jewelry. Or just bring your own jewelry to redesign and freshen up for a new look. Chamula Jewelers, they've got the sparkle for you. Usually, Shlomi, when I say that, my co-host says, "Oh, they've got the sparkle for you." Can you say that for me? They've got the sparkle for you.
They've got the sparkle for you. My question is, do I get 50% off for being your co-host tonight?
You do, Shlomi. You do. 718-336-1980, 718-336-1980, 944 Kings Highway. And of course, we have Tehila Tishler. She's my daughter-in-law. She has a place called ttstyles.com. Shlomi, she's really wonderful. She does wigs, hair, makeup, all wedding events. She looks really good.
I need one of those.
Well, you should. Oh, you're going to make a wedding soon. Then you call my daughter-in-law. She gives you a good per day or get 50% off.
I was talking about my hair. I'm losing.
Not your hair. 718-675-6842. 718-675-6842. Tehila Tishler, ttstyles.com. TEETEESTYLES.com, 718-675-6842. And then we have technical difficulties. Wonderful guy, Avi Fleischer, 1504 60th Street, 718-259-4593. He billed me a lot this week, Shlomi. Wow. He took me, we're moving our offices and he's setting up our computers. That boy knows how to bill. But anyways, he's very good. He's well priced. Really is. I was just making fun of him. 718-259-4593. He's really rated one of the number one computer guys in the city of New York. Technical difficulties, 1504 60th Street, 718-259-4593. 777 Barbershop, 4225 18th Avenue, 718-484-2499, 718-484-2499, located on the corner of 18th Avenue and East 2nd. Shlomi, this guy has a handicap ramp. He gives discounts to senior citizens. There's a special hospital a block away. He takes them and he's so wonderful. He's so kind. You should always look into 777 Barbershop.
All right, got that.
And then, of course, we have Green Line Building Solutions, which you know about.
Oh, do they bill? Woo-hoo, talking about billing, Heshy.
That's not true.
But everyone on the other line is laughing their heads off, talking about a big biller.
Shlomi, how many times have you sat in my office and you've helped us? You've seen us help and take phone calls and help people.
Absolutely.
We do a lot of good work. We help people. And Shlomi, you're one of my clients too.
Listen,
have I helped you a little bit? Not really.
You're a crazy biller, but you are an unbelievably talented team. And that I'll for sure say.
We have a good team. My partner's an idiot.
You're not allowed to say that when he's not here. That's not
I can say anything behind his back. I love talking. Green Line Building Solutions. We help you with your violations, your constructions, your plans, your permits, stop work orders. Matter of fact, this week, Shlomi, I helped a school. Was it yesterday? I helped a school
Yep.
with 600 kids get their
Opening
final C of O and sign off. We worked on it for 8 months with their lunch program. I took a picture, I posted it. 600 kids. Yes, now today they were forced to close the school. Little kids that we take off the streets. We make sure that we watch them. Good guys. And I passed this info. They were so happy. 718-871-0382, located at 5318 16th Avenue, the corner of 16th Avenue and 54th Street. 718-871-0382. Come in for your fire department, your ECB court cases, anything that you need located in your building department. 718-871-0382. Come in. We'll help you. We'll pass you C of O's. We do very good stuff. And as you heard from Shlomi, I'm very talented team, and they really are very good. Even though my team has been coming in during the coronavirus, Shlomi, and tomorrow we're going to let half the staff go home and work remotely or run around the streets, only because everybody's all nervous of this corona stuff. But we're pretty good. Our place is disinfected. We keep it as clean as possible. But again, everybody's flipping out, and we're going to talk about that. Fallon's Corp. 3132 Bedford Avenue. Wonderful place, beautiful clothing for adults, teens, and children. Corner of Avenue J and Bedford Avenue. Go in there. She has really good stuff, well priced. It's 718-325-6667 or 718-Fallons, Fallons. But I like the number 718-325-6667, located on the corner of Avenue J and Bedford Avenue, 3132 Bedford Avenue. Wolf's Grocery Store. My friend, good man that he is. 718-252-1863, located again at 2362 Nostrand Avenue on Avenue J and Nostrand Avenue, just 5 blocks away from Fallon's. 2362 Nostrand Avenue, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. He makes deliveries. Everybody's all scared, Shlomi, about toilet paper and food. Wolf's Grocery is fully stocked. Constant trucks coming. I don't know what you guys are screaming about. I was even in ShopRite. They have longer lines, fully packed. I even spoke to Tommy, the manager, another one of my clients that I helped with his house. Everything is running beautifully over there. I don't see any problems or shortages. Stop freaking out, guys. Stop having an attack, even though your mayor is an idiot and he can't shut down the city. Only the governor, but he's begging them to do it. I don't know, guys. I'm not happy about that. Again, Wolf's Grocery, 2362 Nostrand Avenue on the corner of Avenue J and Nostrand Avenue, 718-252-1863. $25 rent-a-car on the corner of 18th Avenue and Coney Island Avenue. $25 cars. Take it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Stay in it for the same price as long as you want. Minivans are $35. They help you with your insurance companies. 718-851-2000, 718-851-2000. And then, Shlomi, I want you to know I have a new guy. He's a client of mine as well, a wonderful gentleman, and it's called Traveler's Choice.
Ooh.
And in my day, Shlomi, when I was growing up, life was easy. You wanted a suit, you went to Katz's men's store, men's suits. Mm-hmm. You wanted a night out on the town, you went to the Comedy Cellar. You wanted a good restaurant. I don't know if you know this place, Shmulky Bernstein's. You ever heard of that? No. I used to like it. Today, everything is about choices and more choices. But when it comes to this travel, there's only one choice, and that place is called Traveler's Choice. No matter if you're going to Israel or China on business or Israel for a mitzvah, Yossi and Devorah Life, wonderful people, have made Traveler's Choice the first choice of a real first-class travel experience. They're a great value, and to match anybody, I've seen their prices. They're just really great. So if you want to make yourself meshuggah and you want to go online, be my guest. But the only line that I'm on is the telephone line calling Traveler's Choice. So call Traveler's Choice, 212-868-8698, 212-868-8698. Let the mavens at Traveler's Choice take it from there, and just when I order a ticket from them, I'm so happy. I sit back, I take a plate of ice cream, I take my remote control. I know you don't want to hear this on Watch TV, and I leave it all to Traveler's Choice to take it, because I made the best choice by calling Traveler's Choice, 212-868-8698. And if you're planning to travel soon or not so soon, you tell them Uncle Heshy sent you, and or Big H, and he'll give you a great price. Yossi and Devorah Life are wonderful people. That's my story for tonight. We're going to now get on with the show, Shlomi. But of course, Shlomi, my co-hosts are not here, so you're going to have to laugh at my joke. First, I'm going to give you a quote. Listen to this quote, Shlomi. And my quote is the way you get meaning into your life is to devote yourself to others. Okay, devote yourself to your community around you. Devote yourself to creating something that gives you purpose and meaning. You know, a lot of people think, Shlomi, they're sitting at home. I know that going to the hospital, even though my wife doesn't let me go this week to visit people because of the corona, she's telling me not to let people in the house because we always have people coming in. But I still devote myself to certain causes. And you know, Shlomi, you see people coming into my office not only for work, and you have to devote yourself. You have to care about others. You have to love others, and you can get angry at them. And that's my quote of the day, and I hope you liked it.
100%.
Can you listen to my joke? And you better laugh, Shlomi. I see you smiling because you're trying to fake laugh. Anyways, here's my joke. I was doing homework with my little Yaakov. He was about 5 years old. And I said, Yaakov, if 1 and 1 makes 2, and 2 and 2 makes 4, how much does 4 and 4 make? And little Yaakov replied, Daddy, that isn't fair. You always take the easy ones for yourself and leave me with the hard ones. Oh, come on. Okay. That wasn't even a good laugh.
My question is, did I laugh at the right time?
You did laugh at the right time, but not even a good laugh. Anyways, everybody, we're going to start our show. And Shlomi, I want to ask you a question. Of course, every television, every newspaper, every office you go to, every person you speak to, what's the first thing that comes out of their mouth, Shlomi?
Corona.
Now, I want you to know, and I'm going to give you some numbers, Shlomi, because you're going to tell us why God, even though you know China now has, this is a fact, China has 0 new suspected infections. It just came out. And they reported on Chinese mainland as of Wednesday, that's today, the first time since the outbreak. And now the focus has shifted toward prevention of imported cases, and the National Health Committee said that they have no more new cases of the coronavirus. Now, China could be lying. I understand that.
Why would they do that?
But you know, but everybody says they're lying. But if you're worried about washing your hands due to less than 20 people have died in the United States, now I heard there's about 100 that died. But I had these numbers in the beginning of the week. Don't forget to go to therapy. You know why, Shlomi? 45,000 people die each year from suicide. Eat healthy, people die. 80,000 people die. Diabetes, people who exercise heartily, 600,000 people die from heart disease. You guys are all screaming, yes, I understand that there's 8,000 cases in the United States. I understand 100 people died. But you know how many people died from the flu? And a lot of the people that have died are older people with underlying problems, Shlomi. You're shutting down my city. You've cut down the food. You're scaring the people. You've collapsed the stock market by 30%, trillions of dollars. People are not going to be able to pay rent. And this is what your stupid mayor is doing. He's now he has the power to shut us down. Some idiot in Paramus, New Jersey said that I'm closing the malls, not because I'm allowed to, because it's my moral obligation. What do you mean your moral obligations? Your moral obligation is to the people, what the people want. Sure, you have to keep people safe. But when you have these powers, you can't abuse these powers. Our mayor wants to bring in the military into the city to surround us. I mean, they want to scare us. And you know, Shlomi, with the city being shut down, no problem. I got you. First, we didn't have alternate side street parking removed. Now they're stopping it today. But they were giving tickets. Building department inspectors, since half the jobs are not working, Shlomi, they're going around giving other violations. I got a violation the other day. Since I'm working on my house and I didn't sign it off quick enough, they gave me a violation for that. Wow. They're walking around looking, and now if you're so dangerous, why do you have building department inspectors running around giving violations? Shut them down. They're not important. Yeah. The police, they're pulling people over, even though in Philadelphia here, they're not arresting people for such bad crimes. But the point is you're telling us to be careful. You're shutting down synagogues. You know what? They went into a wedding the other night at 6:30 and shipped people out of the wedding hall because it was the Williamsburg or whatever, and also too many people. I mean, I have a cousin that was making a beautiful wedding, and now they stopped him, and only 50 people are allowed to go, and I don't know if he lost all his money, but it's just not right, Shlomi. And I'm going to talk to you about that. There's a big, I don't know, did you ever hear of a guy by the name of Nostradamus? Mm-hmm. So somebody sent me this stupid email. Nostradamus wrote in the year 1551, and I don't know how he says some kind of a twin year, which is 2020 to come up, but somebody always has something, Shlomi. That's why I'm going to make fun of you. Which arrives that Queen Corona wow, who will come from the east, again, the disease, which is China, and who will spread the plague on a country with 7 hills, which is Italy. I mean, they just know how to do this. Will transform men, and everybody will die. I mean, come on. I could make predictions for 900. This was a 500-year, 600-year-old prediction. And of course, the world is going to blow up. Everybody thinks the world is going to end. It's not going to end, people. Go wash your hands. Listen to them. Clean yourself. Take a shower. There's a lot of people, I was in a shelter, a beautiful shelter. When the people go back, a lot of them mess it up and they get sick and they spread the disease. But that happens all the time. You're looking at 80,000 people have gotten better from the coronavirus. The first person in New York City, a health person, I heard today on the radio, is better. She's cured. The first one in New York City. Guys, this will pass. We're going to take a phone call right now, Shlomi, before we start anything. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air with Heshy and only Shlomi right now. Who's calling?
This is Eddie from Dyker Heights.
Eddie from Dyker Heights. Say hello to Shlomi. Shlomi, this is
Hello,
Eddie.
Shlomi.
Hello, Eddie. How are you?
He's a wonderful man. Shlomi's a wonderful man, and he has a wonderful wife, Eddie. And I love you, Eddie. How are you, Eddie?
All right. Listen, your joke was pretty good. But you've had better. It's not bad, but you've had better, Hesh.
I have a better one. I wanted to use the better one, but I didn't think Shlomi had the patience to listen to it long enough.
I think the jokes are having viruses lately.
Oh gosh, yeah, the virus is attacking not only your immune system but your brains. You know what I mean?
And your quote was extremely altruistic, my friend.
Listen, my friend, I know that you have to devote your life to doing good. People just think, sitting at home watching TV. Sure, I want to not go to work and sit at home. My workers are all complaining and getting paid. I am paying my full staff a full salary. A lot of people can't pay their rent, Eddie, next month or 2 months. I had a couple of tenants that called me, a place where I'm a receiver, saying, I don't know how my job is going. I don't know what's going to happen. You just can't shut down a city. But even if you do, how do you have the building department? How do you have the health department moving around? How do you have the sanitation that picks up garbage with their hands? And they don't pick up all the garbage, only some of it now. Do you know that my councilman, Kalman Yeager, is nowhere to be found? Zero to be found. Our assemblyman is running around screaming and helping people. But you know what? Why isn't Kalman Yeager procuring tests for us? Chaim Deutsch, your councilman, you know what he did? I'll tell you what he did. He told everybody, when you get a bus ticket or a parking ticket, call me, I get rid of it. That's what you're busy with, parking tickets? I don't know. But
Heshy?
Yeah, Eddie, I just tell you, I am disappointed because our mayor, who has no brains, our politicians that have no idea, they can come up with better ideas instead of raising taxes.
Trying to protect himself, Heshy.
That's all, but who cares? Protect my people.
There is some truth. You think he's going too far, and I'm inclined to agree with you if he goes like that. But whatever you can do to stop the spread of this would be an excellent idea.
So I'm going to tell you something, Eddie, and I do have an idea. First of all, do you know that 45 people have been tested already for that sample vaccine that came out already? There is a vaccine, and I want you to know I'm so proud of the world because there was a editorial today that the global scientists have figured out that there's 400 proteins in this new virus, and this virus, there are drugs that could break some of these proteins, and they're testing it now, and they're saying the results are going to come out this week, that some of these drugs that could break down the proteins might stop the virus completely. Well, get some answers. By the way, everybody, I have been tested for the corona. I know I haven't gotten my results back. I should get it back tomorrow, the next day. But the warm weather, Eddie, will clear this up.
That's what happens with other ones, Heshy. Let's hope it happens here.
It will go away. You're abusing it. You can't shut down a city, Eddie, of 8 million people.
I know you could be doing a lot of harm to do some good.
I understand staying away. I understand wearing gloves. I understand I had 300 masks and I donated it to the hospital because they wanted it. I have some commercial masks from some of my.
Well, that's what Donald was talking about. They got the construction companies and they volunteered some of their masks.
Right. And me too. I listened to him and I gave 300 of my masks to the hospital.
Great, because the Chinese turned the boat around that was taking masks to the United States back to them.
By the way, Eddie, two co-hosts just showed up, Sawyer and Bumi, Abe, not Etty. Etty's scared to come. Her husband doesn't let her. First, these women are in charge. Now they're not in charge. But by the way, my two beautiful co-hosts, who are who is the chairman and the chairwoman of the against anti-Semitism. By the way, Bumi, did my check clear?
No, I didn't even check. I'm sure it did. I can't imagine it.
You have to talk into the mic, but
I cannot imagine it would not have cleared.
This is Shlomi. Shlomi's going to talk about God, why God is punishing us.
It sounds like an interesting subject. I had something that I also wanted
but Eddie's
to.
on the phone. But Eddie, I want to ask our caller Eddie a question,
and then I want to be able to make one quick statement, and then I want to get onto your program and listen to these people.
Eddie, my only question to you is: are you fearful for your life?
No.
That's it. That's my whole question. Now you tell us. You stay.
Okay. I think, like Donald's been saying, that the proper blame for this, we should remember this corona crap. It should be called the Wuhan flu or the Shicom flu to indicate where it comes from, because a number of I can't tell you all the numbers. The last one was a swine flu. A number of these things have come from China, and therefore they must be responsible for doing unsafe things, or possibly even more nefarious, and they are causing these things. I am sure that what's going to happen is the world is going to try and find other places to manufacture, and they're going to ostracize them as much as they possibly can in an orderly fashion.
But Eddie, it's not only China, it's Iran, it's all these third world countries.
No, but Eddie's saying that
they had Chinese people working. They had Chinese people, a lot of them in Italy, northern Italy, in the clothing business, and in Iran, because Iran's also an outsider. It's been ostracized, and they made dealings with the Chinese. Those are the two worst places, and those are the people that have a lot.
Eddie, I agree with what you're saying, but it's Abraham. How are you, Eddie?
Hello.
Nice to talk to you, Eddie. May I interject just a simple point? I, as far as I know, at least, look, whatever the various different allegations and so-called conspiracy theories may be,
which I'm going to tell you my conspiracy theory in a minute.
But as of right now, it seems as though it's not something that was deliberately done. It's just that, unfortunately, the Chinese they do certain things. Like I've heard this is what I've heard. I don't want to. Again, I can't say that's personal knowledge. It's what I've heard, that they eat cats and dogs and snakes and all kinds of the things that are rather anathema.
I can't believe the whole
world. They have ejected all of the United States, the news media, our news media, Wall Street Journal, New York Times, and others, from their country because they want to keep it quiet. Yeah. And based on their history, they are duplicitous in the extreme.
Yes, Eddie. Thank you for your call, Eddie. We love you. Joy.
Okay, thanks. Good night, fellas.
We're gonna take another caller. Hello, you're on the air with Heshy, and finally Bumi and Sawyer that showed up, and Shlomi. I guess who's calling? Heshy?
Yes, it's Heshy.
Heshy, I want to ask you a question. I have Shlomi, one of your people here. Is the coronavirus affecting the world because of the gay people?
According to Rabbi Meir Mezuz, a leading rabbi in Israel, who's a Rosh Yeshiva, he said about a week ago that because Israel has the gay parades in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, that's why Hashem sent the whole situation.
So the coronavirus is to blame, nobody else but the gay people.
Well, it's a massive rebellion against Hashem. Not only
you're saying, in essence, you're saying that it is a punishment from Hashem, that this is what this virus is.
Well, in 4,100 years ago, if you guys can remember, Heshy certainly remembers.
I do. I'm an old man. Go ahead.
Phil Sawyer in, because she certainly wouldn't remember that far back. So please,
right?
Young.
well, there was a man by the name of Noah.
That's correct.
Who was our grandfather, and there was a flood because the Medrash says that they made marriage contracts between men and men and men and animals. It's in the Medrash.
So I have a Shlomi who's a rabbinical expert, really, and he's telling me that the Lubavitch, and you tell us, Shlomi, I mean, is this true? I mean, we're being punished. You know that the Rebbe would have never allowed this. Your Rebbe, the Lubavitch Rebbe, it's a Lubavitch organization. He's a very good organization to do a lot of good work, but they believe that, let me tell us, why is this happening? What is your Rebbe saying about it?
Okay, first of all, I will say that, not to take away from what the other rabbi just said, but I can only tell you what I heard from the Lubavitcher Rebbe on such similar subjects. There was a time during the Gulf War when there was a certain rabbi in Eretz Yisrael who was publicizing that this attack is coming to the Yidden because they're not Shem Shabbos and because basically because of all the non-religious Jews, and that's why we were going to be there was going to be mass casualties in Eretz Yisrael.
But it never happened.
Okay,
Shlomi,
one minute.
the World War didn't happen.
Right.
The world didn't collapse.
Okay,
The
let me
big
finish.
everything right.
1 second. What did the Rebbe say about that? First of all, the Rebbe was very upset about that statement. And if I remember correctly, I think that he quoted from a Haftarah that we say on a Tiny Sibur, in other words, we don't understand exactly the ways of Hashem and why he does things.
So
right?
over and over again, I hear that. We don't understand God. We don't understand God. God is doing a good. I'm not knocking you. I'm a religious Jew. And the Christians and the Catholic people that are religious, they all say God has his way. But that's not an answer.
I'll give you. I'll tell you.
Yesterday, Soya and I had the privilege of being at a very fascinating shiur given by Rav Yossi Mizrahi.
Almost 3 hours long.
That's correct. He's brilliant. He's a bit controversial, but he did suggest that this was not just to the Jewish people, but to the entire world, a wake-up call, maybe a last wake-up call before the coming of the Messiah, before the coming of Mashiach, to all of the people, letting them know, boy, we've all been doing a lot of wrong and a lot of bad, and it's not just us, it's the entire world.
But what about the good we do? What about all the good we do?
But
I mean, Rabbi Shlomi, what about the good we do?
Okay.
Give me reward. Don't keep killing my children, my grandparents, my family. We've done so good. Now you're going to wipe us out. Everybody says now Messiah is coming. Is he really coming, Shlomi?
Absolutely. But let
When
me
is
tell
he
you
coming?
something
Is he
else.
coming this week? I didn't read it in the paper. It's not on the Justin Heshy show.
Nobody
answer
knows
is-
the exact date, but we are very close. We're certainly on the
Absolutely.
doorway.
Absolutely.
Now, to your guest, I want to just add one thing. The coronavirus is gematria Mashiach.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my God, you guys are crazy.
No,
Really?
No, he is correct. If you spell it with Kuf Reish
So if you're
Aleph,
spelling Corona in Jewish, it means Messiah.
sorry, Kuf Aleph Reish Vav Nun Aleph is 358.
So
It's
for
the
my
Mashiach.
non-Jewish listeners, this coronavirus is bringing the
It's
Messiah.
also
No,
the words kara.
And one more
Rashi
thing.
talked
It also
about
is gematria Geula Karov, that the Geula is near.
Great. Okay, these are all
So
good
God
simonim.
is going to wipe out the world. and
No,
the
he's,
Messiah
no,
is
you know,
coming.
Heshy, you got it.
No, we're going to wipe
Heshy,
out.
you got it wrong.
We're going to wipe out
No,
all
I got
the
it wrong.
anti-Semites, France and Italy.
We're going to wipe out all of Europe.
England.
Oh, good. Thank God.
Yes, all of Europe. And that, first of all, they all have gay parades. They're all into
All the gay
same-sex
people.
marriage.
Oh, gosh.
Hashem
Listen.
is the one destroying them all, and that's what's going to happen.
Okay,
That's
listen,
why we have
like
to be
I
very
said,
careful.
Heshy, I love you. You're wonderful. And thank you for your call, Heshy.
I would like to hear from our guest.
We're gonna
Rabbi,
hear
how
from
he
the guest.
responds to that.
You got it.
I really like
But I want to take another call. 1 second. He's going to say, hello, you're on there with Heshy and Shlomi, who's going to tell us about the Messiah. Who's calling?
Yeah, Heshy, can you hear me?
We hear you beautifully.
Great, Jason, it's your nephew.
Oh, everybody, I want you to see.
Hi,
This is
Jason.
everybody, say hello to my Jason
Hi,
nephew.
Hi,
Jason.
Jason.
This boy,
Hi.
he hates Trump. Everybody's going to die due to the corona, right, Jason? And what else,
That's for sure.
Trump? And what else? What is your Uncle Heshy crazy about? Because you called me crazy.
All right. So first off, with the gay thing before, that's nonsense. I'm not even going to get into that, but that's just absolute nonsense.
So gay
Second
people.
off, all right, Heshy, I have a question for you, all right?
Yes.
Let's say if you stopped working, or if you continue working for the next month, and all of New York City operated completely normal, it meant one person's going to die. One extra person, because the hospitals are going to get overwhelmed and people won't be able to receive care. Is it worth it? Would you make that decision? You have one person dying versus all of New York City shuts down.
I have a rhetorical question for you. So you're telling me that the president who sends people into war, that you would have no problem, and you know many people are going to die, and we send them every day to do black op operations. We have all the doctors and nurses cannot not work, so no matter what, people are going to die. We have more than enough hospital beds. You know that this is a conspiracy. The country is, I know this is, nobody's stopping the flu. Nobody's stopping the cancer. Nobody's stopping anything. Yeah, Italy. Go back to Italy.
Actually, Italy has a more advanced hospital system than the United States. Do you want, the mortality rate there is 7%. Do you want to know why? Because they didn't do anything, and now their hospitals have to choose who they give care to and hopefully save versus who they have to let die because they don't think they'll make it.
Again,
It's not a problem of the virus.
You're not listening, Jason. The flu kills 800, Jason. Hundreds of thousands of people die due to the flu every year. They die to pneumonia. Jason, you're talking a coronavirus that has killed less than 100 people in the United States. 8,000 people have been affected.
And if
This is not the flu.
Jason,
Hold on, Jason, you're not talking about the flu where if pardon me, I touch your schnot or I touch something, you're talking about an ear-borne, something that could turn into a epidemic. You walk into somebody else. Right. It's a pandemic. That's right. It's worse. So you yourself are stating that it's worse. So could you imagine if everybody is not trying to quarantine themselves, and then you have people literally dropping in the street or dropping at work? You want to start seeing how many body bags do you think they're going to need?
I'm saying they should quarantine.
So he's saying he's on your side. He's saying let's quarantine the entire world. I disagree.
I'm not saying
you can't shut down the world. It doesn't work like that.
I'm saying is, Heshy, you want when China
let's get rid of all our cell phones. This way, nobody gets radiation in their head. Nobody gets cancer.
Well, you never answered my first question. Would you shut down the city if it meant one person doesn't die?
No.
Okay.
No.
Right.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I will take care of it. Hello. I will shut down the city if I never have any deaths from any diseases. Never suicide.
Or the entire
but if
city
it's not corona,
okay, I get his question. Yeah. With Yona and this, are you supposed to give up a person? According to Jewish halacha, you're not supposed to give up one person.
Well,
but the mayor's job is to protect the majority.
He's not protecting the majority. The minority. What the mayor's job is he's punishing us. He's going to make sure we're taxed.
I didn't say what he's doing. I said what his job
is. The building department is still taxing, violating us. The cops are still pulling people over. You're still getting tickets from ticket agents. I screamed at a ticket agent today. I says, you have a nerve that people are getting sick and you're walking around ticketing us.
Because they need pocket money.
Wrong. But Heshy, so when this thing first broke out in China, they didn't believe it. It was so perfectly mathematical. It was such an perfectly logarithmic growth.
What I want you to do is, Jason.
And then it went to Italy, and it's the exact same growth. And now it's in the United States, and it's the exact same.
Jason, we're going to talk about God now. Do you believe God is punishing us or no God?
Actually, I don't know what God is doing. If he's punishing us, it's working. But you know what? At the end, I'm not in a position to say that. I'm in a position to say, if you're able to, stay at home so that you
Jason,
don't.
But I understand you've been locked in your house for a week already, right? Are you going a little crazy?
No, I've been going on walks. I've been isolating. It's been okay.
So
actually, you know what? I'd rather that than overwhelm a hospital or infect a family member.
All I know, there's 1 million hospital beds and they haven't all been taken. Jason,
100,000 and they're going to get taken.
I love Jason. By the way, Jason, I think you're a beautiful, handsome young man, and I love you.
Good. I'll keep it that way by staying inside. Thank you.
You be good, baby. I missed you, Perm. Bye. No, I didn't get you, Perm.
I was there, Perm.
Label. We're gonna take one more call and we're gonna have Shlomi talk to him. Hello, you're on the air with Heshy, Shlomi. So yeah. And me. And Abe. And baby, forgot about you, Bummy. Because you're wearing the mask. You're on the air. You still there? Nope. He's not there. Let's go to the next caller. Hello, you're on the air with Heshy and everybody.
Hi, this is Etty calling.
Slimy, say hello to Etty. This is my call.
Etty, we miss you.
Etty, we miss you, Etty.
Etty, is it okay? Do you mind? I'm sitting here now. Etty, is it okay?
He took over your chair.
It's totally fine.
Thanks,
hi,
Etty.
Hi, everyone there. I just want to tell you I couldn't make it because I have someone at home who's immunocompromised. I didn't want to take that risk. So that's why I'm not there. But I'm listening to your show. And I think Jason has the right attitude, but probably the wrong mindset about this. And
what about Heshy, the caller, that the virus is going because of all the gay people?
I think Heshy needs to quarantine himself without any social media.
Stop it. I like Heshy. Heshy's a good guy.
Yeah, well, we can't blame any particular community for causing this, and I think that's
Can I blame Carmen Yeager? Can I? Because nobody came out, because usually Carmen Yeager and who's nowhere to be found, and Greenfeld, they're blaming all these yeshivas, but Carmen Yeager is not giving blood pressure tests with what's his name, Senator Felder. That's all they know how to do. These guys, if I was your councilman, and here it is, Mr. Jason, I would procure hundreds, not maybe thousands of tests. I would go fight for it. I'd go make them get it.
But Heshy, Carmen Yeager has been self-quarantined
Right.
ever since he stepped into office.
Well, that's a fact. Etty, by the way, you didn't laugh at my joke, Etty, or did you laugh at it?
Of course I did. You're really
Not
on
you with
truth
Carmen
tonight.
Yeager. It's,
But all I know is we should give out Carmen Yeager's number. I think you have it over there, but me, Carmen Yeager's number. Etty leaves it by her chair.
I don't know.
Oh, it's right there. I want you to give everybody Carmen Yeager's number and ask him how come he doesn't have tests for his neighborhood.
Give out his number.
Is this the one
That's-
up in the corner?
No, that's not the one in the
The
ground.
address and phone number should be
I
there.
just want you to know, Mr. Yeager runs around, takes pictures, who goes to events and doesn't give donations. But Mr. Yeager, who I don't understand you. You're supposed to be helping this
I
community.
found
Oh, give us Carmen's number,
Yeah,
Sawyer.
that's okay.
Everybody should call Carmen Yeager and say, give me a free test.
Everybody call him at 718-853-2704 or write to him 4424 16th Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11204.
I think they should go.
Could you repeat the phone number one more time?
718-853-2704.
I
Thank
think
you so
you
much.
guys should just go up to his office and say, Carmen, can you give me a test or something? Where are you? Or take a picture with him. And I don't know. I'm not happy. If I was your councilman, yes, I'd be fighting them. Yes, I would shut down the building department. Why are you having inspectors running around who can pass the corona disease? By the way, two policemen.
Unbelievable.
I got a violation,
God damn,
and people are walking in.
What'd you get a violation for?
Because I'm in the middle of work in my house and I finished and I the paperwork with the building department shut down. You can only now drop off and mail. So
You couldn't
basically,
get it in on time.
you can't get it in on time. Then they reject you for the. Usually you stand. I have my people. That's why we're a professional team. We stand on there. We wait for the rejection. We fix it by mailing it
You
in.
couldn't get an extension?
You can't. So what they do is they don't want to because by not getting the extension, they give you a failure to comply penalty above your original.
And it's a couple of bucks for them in their
So
pocket.
your original $800 penalty turns into $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 by the time you're done. And the building department, they're not walking around one. Now they're walking around two together. And when you submit paperwork, I had a guy who got a stupid violation. He submitted in the paperwork. They said it was wrong till he got it mailed back to him. Took a month. He got another violation, failure to comply.
In the
In the interim, he went back and he got 5 of them for the same stupid violation.
Highly professional programmed government extortion.
And I want you to know something. I used to go to court and beat the city all the time on violations.
I know, I
Finally,
heard about that.
Bloomberg came up with an idea. This was Mr. Bloomberg, in which de Blasio is covering. He says simple. If they win the violation, appeal it, even if it's an $800 fine, because don't let them set precedent that, once you win a violation, they could use this over and over again. And they keep appealing and beating us till we lose. They're beating us to the ground and taking every dollar from us. And this is unacceptable. Etty, you are wonderful. And we miss you.
We
I
really
want
do
you-
at the
Me too. I want you all to stay well and follow whatever the guidelines that they're giving us.
Well, we love
We're
you.
trying, Etty.
And be safe. Take care of yourself.
Love you, Etty.
Wash your hands. I have Purell for
And
everybody.
Sawyer's going to call you tomorrow sometime. So you
That's
can
right.
shoot the
That's
breeze.
right. Etty, you're wonderful.
Okay,
Thank you, my darling.
Sonia and that other person.
Shlomi.
Stay well. You too, Shlomi.
Thanks.
And you too. And wish the best to the Hasidic rapper too.
I was going to give a shout out to you and to my friend Ellie and my granddaughter Mira Nava, who my children don't let Mira come see me anymore. I'm fighting with my kids again, so I'm not going to see my. They threaten me. I'm
He's
not.
fighting for visitation.
Yeah, I told them if you don't bring the baby, you can't come yourself. I don't
We're
want to see
talking
you.
about these beautiful subjects. Happy birthday to my dear estranged daughter, Dana.
Happy
Today
birthday.
is her
Happy
22nd
birthday.
birthday.
So I want to get back to Shlomi. Shlomi, you are so obsessed at telling us that the Rebbe understood that all this is going to happen.
First of all, the Rebbe knew as a Navi, the prophet of our time. Every generation has a Moshe Rabbeinu of their time.
Moses, a leader
Moses,
of the
a leader.
community.
And that leader has a connection to Hashem that nobody else has in that generation. He can communicate with Hashem, and he has a pulse on what's happening around the world.
Did he
and
only communicate for the Jews, or did he help everybody? Because I know a lot of the non-Jewish politicians went to him and he spoke to them and gave them blessings.
He did. He helped everybody. As a matter of fact, I have a story, that since Gimel Tammuz happened, and we can't physically see the Rebbe.
What is
So-
Gimel Tammuz?
Gimel Tammuz is the date when the Rebbe left us toward the naked eye.
So
Okay.
really, he didn't die. He's alive.
There's different ways of understanding that. If you really want me to
No.
explain it in very short,
Because
1 foot.
I like this idea because I don't want to die either. If I just become invisible, I think that's
they
a great.
refer
They
to
say
it
there's
in
3 madrigos, 3 levels. No,
Yeah, what's
with
that?
the Shechina.
I
So
know
you mean when you die, you don't really die? You float
Well,
around?
Do they refer to it as the Hilula of the Rebbe or something like that?
right. In general, the life of a tzaddik is not
The life
same
of a holy man.
of a holy man is not the same as the life of a regular person like you and me. Their life is
I
spiritual.
don't consider myself regular, by the way.
You're very
Well,
special,
Heshy is
Heshy.
definitely
a higher
level than most of us.
You're your own category of
That's it.
specialness.
Sorry, did I say how pretty you look today? So you look so pretty. Go ahead,
Thank
yeah.
you.
So but forget what the Rebbe's life is. I want to know if the Rebbe was alive today, and according to can he stop this sickness?
Absolutely. I'll tell you. But the thing is, this sickness could be stopped in 24 hours.
Oh wow. Okay,
Oh,
everybody, sit back.
Hang on.
Here we go.
This sickness could have been avoided.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. All sicknesses could have been avoided for the past 25 years or so. All tragedies, all terrorist attacks against Jewish schools and shuls, Chabad rabbis that were murdered in cold blood in their Chabad houses could have been avoided, all for the same reason that I say that this disease could have been avoided. And we have to call a spade a spade. We've been beating around the bush for the past 25 years, and we're missing the boat.
Go ahead, give us the boat.
Okay. The Rebbe spoke in 1991, and before that, actually, it was a buildup. For many years, he said that through the efforts of our Torah mitzvahs, doing good deeds in the world, we're going to refine the world and prepare it for the coming of Mashiach. And he compared it to polishing the buttons, so to speak, right? And then there came a point where he said, we've already polished the buttons, and now we have to go to the next step. And that is to actually bring Mashiach actually into the world, bring the redemption to the
But
world.
haven't we been trying to bring Mashiach, the Messiah, for thousands of years?
Right, thousands of years.
So
Okay.
everybody's
Okay.
you're talking every generation is not good. Nobody has
No.
done the right thing because he's not coming.
That's a
Well,
very good question. Very good question. I'm going to answer that. I'm going to answer it based on a song. You may know this song. It's from Avram Fried. He made a song called Standing on a Giant's
Okay.
Shoulders, right? That a midget, he might not be able to see over the wall on his own, but when he stands on the shoulders of a giant, he's able to see much further. We are now piggybacking on the good deeds on the shoulders of
the previous
of
generations.
the previous generations, of the millions of Jews that died under Stalin, of the millions of Jews that died at the stake under Hitler, Yamach Shmei, and all the other tragic stories
So
that happened.
that's-
And
all
I
the-
think the great tzaddikim of past generations.
Right, no, of course.
So
and
this
I'm-
is my
both-
point to you. I have
Okay.
this is my
So-
point to you. So every time you say that the Messiah is coming, we're all doing good. Every time we do good, what happens? Millions of
It
people have
accumulates.
to die.
No, every time
Sure,
you put, no.
according to you, the Nazis
No,
killed
no,
the Jews
no.
because we were good. Stalin
No,
killed
no,
the
no,
Jews
no,
because
no,
we were
that,
good.
Heshy.
No.
Actually, I think there's an end time, an end date when the Mashiach must come, and I think we're definitely right closing that gap. But we're at the
Okay.
very final, and I think certain things had to come to fruition. The world is part of God's master plan.
You really
Okay.
believe
And
that?
certain-
Bumi,
Yeah.
you,
Didn't Rabbi
you-
Mizrahi-
you people believe there's
Didn't
an
Rabbi Mizrahi said there was no actual date, and that whoever goes is not a truthful.
Well,
is a
I
liar
don't
or
think he was
something?
I don't think he was referring to an end date. There is an end time. We don't
Right.
know that date. He
Mhm.
said people cannot speculate to that specific date, but we can assume that we're very, very close. We don't know the date, whether it's going to happen
But
July
Bumi-
2nd or July 4th.
But Bumi, you know, the Catholic people in the year 2000 also said the world was coming to an end, and that's when it's supposed to end. It never happened.
Okay.
Remember?
You know, you're quoting the Catholic people. With all due
I'm not
respect,
quoting the
I want
Catholic
to
people.
tell you something.
I'm quoting every religion.
Oh, right.
You know,
First of all, we
what was
should-
it?
I want-
Those guys, those little, the guys who made up the calendar, the world was going to end in 2012 as well. The
Listen.
calendar ended. Everybody-
I believe in the faith that I was brought up to believe in, the faith of my ancestors.
Yeah.
And my understanding is based upon that. And I truly, with all my heart, do believe that we are very, very close. It's imminent, and we are at that end period. And I think certain things have to happen.
I'm going to
God's
take
plan in order for
Okay.
things to be
I
ready for the
want to
Mashiach
take
to
a call.
come.
I want to take a caller. Hello, you're on the air with Heshy, Shlomi, Soyem, Bomi.
Hi, actually, my name is Sarah Razel.
Hello,
I'm in
Sarah.
seventh
Hi,
grade.
honey.
Hi.
And the only reason I'm listening to the radio is because I don't have school due to the coronavirus.
And where are you? What do you do all day long? Are you locked in your house, or do you go out and play with other people?
Yes, I did.
So you went out, you met other people, so you interacted with other people because you couldn't stay home all day.
Sweetheart, can I ask you before you respond? How old are you, honey?
I'm 12.
Okay, honey. Go ahead. Now
Wow, go ahead, Sarah Razel. We better.
So actually, I heard from my father that the reason of the whole coronavirus is because the buses run in Israel and there's a lot of Chilul Shabbos.
So because people don't hold Shabbos, that's why we have the coronavirus.
Of course, for other reasons too.
Heshy, it seems to me, yeah, you're correct, Sarah Razel,
So
sweetheart.
Razel,
I agree
so
with you.
Razel, what grade are you in?
I'm in 7th grade.
Wow. Now, did you play with? Did you meet any other friends from your school while you're out of school, or just relatives and stuff?
I met one kid, yeah.
So, but didn't the school tell you you're not allowed to go out? You have to be home the whole day, or they didn't tell you that?
They didn't tell us anything.
You just can't come to school.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? What do you do a whole day? Do you study? Do you practice?
Yeah, I did some of that. Our school started a hotline, so we learn on the phone, but not for too long. So.
But did anybody get sick in your school, or do you know if anybody gets sick? Nobody got sick in your school, and no teachers. Okay, and everybody in your house is healthy, correct?
Yes.
Very good, Sir Razel. Do you like my show so far, by the way?
Yes, it's amazing.
Did you laugh at my joke?
Yeah, it was really fun.
I like you, Sir Razel. You're a very funny girl. I like you. You're always welcome to call our show.
Heshy, write it down. I want you to send her a free copy of your Sefer.
So you're a wonderful caller. Thank you. And tell your father to take good care of the family.
Thank you. Bye.
Be good, honey.
That was a cute call. You see?
Cutie pie.
Yeah, cutie pie. So Shlomi, you heard what she just said, Shlomi.
Yeah. Okay. So back to what we were saying before. The end latest time in the Mashiach will come, according to the Torah, is by the year 6000.
So the year
6,000.
6,000
years before, because a 210-year period of Tchias HaMesim, which would correspond with the year 2030, is 210 years before 6,000.
So
you have to have a 210-year period of Tchias HaMesim before 6,000.
So 1 minute. So let me get this right. The year 2030, the world ends.
210 years before the year 6,000.
Gotcha.
Mashiach must come.
I like the number. So in 10 more years, the Messiah comes, the world ends.
Must come. Not the world ends. No. Okay. The Messiah comes, the beginning of the final rectification, the beginning of the process of the revival of the dead. All those miraculous things begin to happen.
So who cares about the coronavirus? If you drop dead, you know you'll be back in 10 years.
Well,
that's a great attitude.
I don't know. You know what? If I have enough money, I don't even need retirement. I'm retiring in 8 years. I'll just try to retire in 10, and then I'll be good to go. Okay, wonderful.
But our goal is to bring Mashiach before that. Through our
I'm willing to wait 10 years.
Now, okay, maybe you are because you're living in your own bubble. Maybe everything is perfect, but there are a lot of people who had families that were murdered by terrorists on a kibbutz in Eretz Yisrael, or had a Flatbush family that most of the family were wiped out on a fire on Friday night.
I've been ready for the last 23 years, ever since my father was catastrophically taken away from us.
Now, I'll tell you something else. The Rebbe once was speaking, and the Rebbe, generally speaking, I mean, it was very rare that the Rebbe raised his voice. There were only a few times. One time when the Rebbe raised his voice, and there's a video of this. If anyone wants to go and search, you can probably search it. There's a video where the Rebbe was speaking about the fact that there isn't enough of a demand and a desire and a burning fervor of the Yidden asking for Mashiach every day. You know, we say every day in davening. Hold on a second. Okay, hang on. Let me ask you a question. How many times a day do you think we ask for Mashiach in davening?
We ask
many
times. I'm saying at least 3-4 times.
At least 3-4 times. How about if I tell you it's more than 100 times a day?
Okay.
Now,
just because you ask doesn't mean he's coming.
Okay. The problem is, a lot of times when people say things like "Esamach David Avdacham Heirat Satzmiach,"
English,
that Samach David Avdacham Heirat Satzmiach, that speedily the offspring of David, right, which is referring to Mashiach. Mashiach will be from the dynasty of David, from the family.
Right.
Yeah. and it says Kili Shurascha Kvina Kol Hayom. It ends that you're hoping and waiting for him Kol Hayom. Yeah. My question is, when you pass that pasuk, that piece of davening, do you stop for a second and think what you're saying?
No, I don't stop
Okay.
at all. I'm
So
trying to
that's
scale
okay.
out
That's what the Lubavitcher Rebbe was trying to change. That we should become one track minded. That everything in our lives, as of 25 or 30 years ago, should change. Everything. Whenever something sad happens, we should say, "Oi, we need
I
Mashiach."
want to take another caller. Hello, you're
Yeah.
on the air with Heshy, Shlomi, Soy, and Bumi.
Hi, Heshy. I forgot everybody else's name.
It's
Sorry.
okay. Heshy's good enough for now.
What's your name?
Oh, I'm Larry.
Hi, Larry.
Hi, Larry.
Are you
Hi,
Etsy?
Larry.
No, that's Soya. Etty couldn't come this week.
Oh, okay. I'm really way off. Hi, everybody. And I turned my radio off, so I didn't hear what was said the last few minutes. The Chinese people are fine people, but they're shouldering the burden of a gangster government. A gang has superficial administration, and if you don't understand the superficial administration and there's harm, there's the phrase "no harm, no foul." You get shot in the back of your head. Apparently, this is my opinion. It's a pretty good guess, I think. Somebody was assigned to dispose of one or more of the sick animals in the animal laboratory by taking them to the place for disposing of them, and he thought he could get away with selling them at the market, and it caused harm. And I bet he got shot in the back of his head, and the rest of that superficial administration that you always have in a gang failed to control and limit the harm because they're all afraid of getting shot in the back of their heads. We don't yet have a dictatorship here because we have our constitution.
No,
Yes.
no, you're wrong. We have gangsters here who run this operation. You have a
We
guy,
have the Democratic Party.
Democratic Party, that can just shut. You know what, Larry? They shut down the country due to the budget for a couple of months. They tried to bankrupt us then. They tried to do the Mueller report. Then they tried the impeachment. They tried so many different ways. How many times can you trick me? I understand the coronavirus is serious. I know people are getting sick, but so many people are lying. I mean, I didn't hear any deaths or coronavirus in Russia. Did anybody hear about the Russian fatalities? Nothing, because some reason it's not there, or they're just not letting the news out. What's going on in Russia? They have a gangster union over there.
Oh yeah, Russia, gangster government, definitely.
By the way, Joe Biden, you know, has pretty much is won the Democratic nominee. You know that. Why isn't Sanders dropping out? I want to just change the topic now. I want to talk to the end of the show. We're going to be running against Biden. Now that the market has dropped, do you think people are going to switch sides and listen to Mr. Biden?
Well, Sanders wants influence. He must know now that he can't win the presidency, but he still wants to have influence, and who knows what he has in mind.
Well, I hope he goes away. You've been wonderful. Thank you for your call, my brother.
Okay, my brother. Bye.
So Shlomi, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
God, right? God picks the leaders of this country, right?
Absolutely.
Would the Rebbe have approved of Donald Trump?
The Rebbe approves of anything that Hashem approves of. God approves of.
But once the approval is done, so once the Trump is approved, so he is the official leader.
Absolutely.
So why are the Democrats trying to get him out of power?
Not just that. First of all, the Democrats. You mean the Jewish Democrats?
All of them. All the Democrats. Anybody who is against
I think
him.
the Rebbe would have approved of him, because anybody that would have declared that they love the Jews or that they care for their brothers, or the way he talks. I mean, look at him. He kisses the flag. He shows love for this country, for people. He says, "I love my people, the people that I'm caring for. You know, my country."
It's
And he's
This is the first
strong
president I've ever
supporter
seen
of the
so
state of
strongly
Israel.
loving this country.
And
That's
the
what you
support of
want.
ours, too.
there's a saying in the Torah that says, "Leiv Melachim v'Sarim b'Yad Hashem." The heart of the kings and the ministers in the world are in the hands of God.
Oh.
So it's no wonder why Donald Trump, regardless of all his deficiencies that people may say he has, whether they're true or false, that's irrelevant. You have to look at the bottom line.
So
Bottom
Pelosi,
line, nobody did ever as much for the Jewish
So,
people,
gotcha.
for Israel. than
So
he
according
did.
to you,
As much as Trump.
So Pelosi, Schumer,
He's a religious man.
or whatever, and this other idiot Nadler, who I call a Nazi.
Yeah.
These guys have gone against the preaching of God.
They're
Shouldn't
They're
they?
traitors. They're
they're
traitors
trying
against America.
So shouldn't
Yeah.
they get the coronavirus since they're so evil?
Either that or be hung. They're traitors against
I
America.
like the
absolutely.
hanging part. I like
Okay,
that.
well,
But
one way or the
Nadler,
other.
but
We
Fat-
should give them choices.
Fat Gary, you can hang.
I
That's
think
right.
fat little Nadler would crack the rope and fall on the floor.
Well,
you
in
know?
that case, maybe a virus, any kind of virus
Yeah.
should do the job.
Talking
Anyway.
about hanging, I know you brought up de Blasio before. I'll tell you one thing about him. I think that if he would have been time in the Megillah, it wouldn't have been Vasteris, Bnei Haman, Toloi. It would have been it would have been 11 people.
Yeah.
And he would have been 11th. You know what happened? They were coming for him. But what happened is he's such a slimy guy. He slipped away.
Yeah.
And then he ran into the subway and he jumped the turnstile.
Wow.
Yeah. And then they arrested him, but he came right out the other side.
Well, de Blasio, I can't wait till we have another mayor, but I don't know who's going to run up against you. But I have a question for you. You just heard this little beautiful girl talk to us. Okay, nobody in her school got sick. She's still associating with other kids.
We don't know. Wait a minute. You're making
She
a rather
didn't-
broad
She
statement.
didn't say that nobody.
She doesn't know
Right,
of it.
she knows of anybody,
She's
but-
12 years old. She
Yeah.
would have known. They
But
would have
young,
told
young
her.
children that age, I think a lot of them could conceivably, I hope not.
Not
but a lot
everybody's
of them could
telling
be
when they
carriers.
get sick.
And they
Hold
don't
on a
even know
minute.
it. They could be carriers.
No, not everybody's telling you that they got sick.
Okay, but my
You don't know who got sick.
So
There are
do-
people at home that are getting
So
sick that
they-
you don't know.
they
They're
are-
not bragging about it. Oh, by the way, hi,
Right.
I got the coronavirus.
But by the way, so first of all, people are telling you you're supposed to tell people. It would really be right.
Those people are at home sick.
But-
They're not telling other
Right,
people.
right. But my question to you guys is simple: this coronavirus, do we close all the schools and yeshivas? Is that a normal thing? Did we do the right
Okay.
thing?
So Heshy, first of all, like you started the show, you said we have to do whatever the medical professionals advise. And we know we have to listen to also whatever the rabbis and community leaders advise.
They're protecting their behinds. You know that.
Okay,
and
but
I
at the
know
end of the
that.
day, you can't just ignore it, because then later on, if something would happen, and say, "Oh, why didn't you listen to the people who know about these things?" We don't know if they know. You're right; they probably don't know. They're making it up day by day. You see, they keep changing. We're closing down the public schools. We're not closing down the public schools. We're going to close the whole city down.
They're
fine.
getting
You know,
yelled
so
at
At the end of the day, you have
outside.
to look at the hashgacha protest, the divine providence, and this, and that is like this. If the city ends up closing down completely, it's for one reason. It's not because they're crazy and they come up with it. It's because Hashem wants them to close
God
down.
wants them to close.
Yeah,
the city.
so what will
wow.
in the end, we'll see what will happen. We don't know yet, but if that's what Hashem's plan is, now I will tell you that what are we about to approach now? Which Yom Tov?
Pesach.
Passover.
Right. What happened to all the Jewish people without fail on the night of Pesach?
They
I
weren't able.
recall
They weren't.
three-quarters
No,
of the Jewish people were
No,
taken
but
away
they-
from this world.
No,
No,
but
no,
they weren't
no,
allowed
no.
to- they weren't allowed
That's
to-
a Makas Choshech.
Right,
Okay.
they-
And the Lubavitch Rebbe spoke about that, and he said that in our times there will not be
A repeat of that.
there won't be a repeat of that,
Okay.
because he said that the Jewish people today that are not religious, right? Why did so many millions of Jews die in a time of in the plague of Choshech,
I
in the
don't
time of
recall
Mitzrayim?
exactly what-
Because they were like a child who said to the father, "I don't recognize you." So he says the father always loves his children until one point. At one point, he could lose that love, and that is if the child says, "I don't recognize you as my father," then that connection can disappear, and that's what happened. Because he had given them everything, he had
Well-
shown them the miracles one after the other, and then they turned their backs and they said, "We don't want to go out of Mitzrayim."
Well, our show's
And
coming
he
to
said
an
it.
end. Our show's coming to an end. Sawyer, say something quickly. What
You're
do we got?
wonderful,
I
Heshy.
I did say you're pretty. Bumi, anything special to say to the people?
No, I'd like
Hey,
everybody to just.
Actually, we're going to wrap this up. The bottom line:
We're
we
wrapping-
need to bring Mashiach. That's the only way to stop everything.
We
all
do.
of these
We
things.
do need to, but we also
How do you do it?
we also need to find a cure.
What's
We
that?
have to work together. You have to watch your neighbors. Don't be scared.
kind.
All because
Actually-
what I want you to do is simple. I want you to keep yourself safe. Keep yourself clean. The grocery stores, there are no shortages, guys. Don't be scared. Don't start
Don't
hoarding.
stampede.
Right.
Right. That's
Don't
it.
worry about toilet paper, because
We're
if we
gonna
need
have enough
toilet
of
paper,
that.
we have enough to come to my house. I'll give you a roll.
Mashiach is the key. Mashiach is the key word here. I think everybody feels that. Everybody knows that. Every Jew has a spark of Mashiach in him. He just has to awaken it, build on it. Yes, we have to continue doing Torah mitzvahs, of course, but it should all be with the flavor of Mashiach, and we should come out and scream and ask Hashem for Mashiach, and then all this will end.
Wonderful. Thank you. I want to thank all my sponsors, Shamula Jewelers, TTStyles.com, of course, Green Line Building Solutions. You guys missed it. He said Green Line is a professional team. I like that. Fallon's Corp, 3132 Bedford Avenue, Wolf's Grocery. He's got a lot of food. Go to him. You have no problem. $25 rent-a-car, and of course we have technical difficulties. Wonderful people, and I'd like to, of course, thank my newest sponsor, Traveler's Choice. Just tell him Uncle Heshy sent you. I want to give you his number, 212-868-8698. When you finish ordering your tickets, you're all happy. Sit back, eat a plate of ice cream. I always eat a plate of ice cream when I order my tickets from him, really. And of course, I'm watching television. Really, I don't eat a plate of ice cream. I eat ice cream and cake, but that's why I'm fat.
I can't believe that, Heshy. You look too slim.
I do look slim. You're wonderful. Thank you, everybody. Listen to us again next Wednesday. Shlomi, thank you. Sawyer, you're beautiful. Boomy, get that mask off your face.
Good night.
Get ready for Mashiach now. That's the goal.
Program is a paid advertisement. The opinions and views